Alright everybody, we're back with another video. We're gonna put 20 in. And today we're gonna be messing around with Martingale. Let's do place, buy, oh, clear that. Buy. Alright, so we're gonna try to get a hit on every number, and if we don't hit, we're gonna go up by a bet. So basically Martingale to 25 cents to 50 cents. If we do hit, we're gonna clear it down. We'll redistribute if we go too deep, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so we get a hit on the 9. We're gonna pull that down. Let's make sure that's ready. Alright. So yeah, we're gonna double everything we lose. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, all the way up into the point that it hits. If it gets too deep and the others are open, we're gonna redistribute amongst the other ones to try to mitigate the variance. I don't know what's going on with that. That's a little wiggy. All right, so we're gonna pull that down. So we've hit the 9 and the 5. 4 numbers left to hit. Looks like we're on a pretty good roll. Looks like the 8 is hitting quite frequently, more frequently than anything else. Alright, so we're not going to get that one because we weren't on it. We already hit it. But this is a pretty simple, straightforward system. All you're doing is basically capitalizing on the fact that you should hit every number before your bankroll gets depleted, given the amount of rolls that you're going to get and the fact that your bets stay up. Alright, so we're going to take a loss there. We're going to re-put them up. And we are going to double. And now what I could do is I could, rather than doubling one of these or one of these, I could go 25 cents there, 25 cents there, but we're just going to stick to this straightforward for now. We may adjust in a little bit. Alright, so we're going to get the 4. I'm going to pull that down. And because these pay a little better than 1-to-1, the 4, 5, 9, and 10, every time you increase your bets, you actually make out a little better than you would on your original betting amount. Alright, let's keep it going. Miss. So right now, if you're going to get bored of missing a lot, what you could do is you could take the dollar, divide it up amongst the 4 open numbers right here, these 4 numbers right here, and then you're on a quarter each with 50 cents over there, and then you could take that and divide that, and then you'd be all back at a quarter. But we're going to try to gain our units just by straight martingale. There we go. Now the other thing you could do is, because we're up now, so we're at 20.64, if we clear our bets, you'll see we're at 21.64, you could just go ahead and restart. Or you could reset your bets that are missing, and then you could take your progression in kind of like a 2-step way, factoring in the sense that you're martingaling 2 different numbers or 2 different series. Alright, so usually when I get down to 1, I don't like to play for the 1, so I'm going to go ahead and clear it and replace it. I find playing for 1 is a little bit tedious. You could sit here for many rolls and not get any action, so I'd rather reset and try to kill some numbers and get some units, but that's all you're trying to do is collect units in this method. 8, there we go. And this usually works out pretty well. I've been experimenting with different ways to do it, and you know, like I said, if you go the second round, you can restart your first round on the open numbers. You can, grand martingale, you can redistribute. There's lots of ways to play with it, but hopefully I'm demonstrating the basic premise. And even, right there, all right, we pulled that down. I think we forgot to pull down the 8 last time, so we're gonna go ahead and do that just to stay consistent for now. We'll tweak this a little later into the session, but for now we're just gonna start off like this. $21.99, $1 on the numbers. All right, there we go. But you have a pretty high hit rate with this. When you do get your losses, it doesn't really matter because you're gonna recoup on the next round anyway, so the 7 doesn't really disappoint you in that regard. But I find this way to be fun. I know some people are against the Martingale, but I find it to be a very useful tool when used in the right way and not recklessly. All right, there we go. And I'm gonna replace all of them now. I don't want to go a bunch of rolls without getting any action, so let's just start that over. And we're not gonna worry about raising these. We're gonna raise all of them on the next loss.
Place your bets, please.
There we go.
Thank you.
All right, so $22.79 up top. And we got 125 on the numbers. All right, we are on a run. Most of my demonstrations will take place at lower stakes because when I like to fool around, I don't like to get punished too hard. Winning is always more fun than losing, as you guys know, and when you start low, you limit your losses, and when you start winning, I mean, you can go up from there. So I always recommend starting at the lowest limits with basically about 100 units. 100 units is usually enough to decide whether or not that run's going to take place, or if you just want to call it a day. So, all right, we're going to leave those on. And once again, because we're at such a high hit rate, and I don't feel like making this a boring video for you guys, we're just going to reset, start it all over. Now, this is one of the most consistent ways that I've found to have a high hit rate without the risk of the risk of ruin, really, because you can always adjust. You're making up for your bets that you're losing. You're basically you're trying to recoup every bet that you've ever made in every round. So until you go broke, you're winning all the time. All right, $23.60 up top. When you do go on good rolls too, you can run this method up pretty fast, and then I mean, you can press, you can do all, the next round after you win, you can start at 50 cents if you want. You basically, if you won all 6 units in the first round and then you pressed with them in the next round, you'd be at 50 cents, but you'd still be risking the original 25-cent units on each number. All right, we're gonna pull that down. That didn't work, there we go. But yeah, pretty simple, pretty mindless, pretty easy way to play. If you make mistakes, you won't get punished. The only time you get punished is when a bunch of 7s come in a row and you go too deep and then your numbers aren't hitting or whatnot. But once again, you can play around with it and redistribute all the equity any which way you'd like to cater to the way you like to play. All right, let's pull that down. All right, $24.74. We got $1 up there. We're in for 20, so we're up about $6 right now, which is about 24 units in about 10 minutes. If we get one more hit right here, we're gonna reset all of them. And I spoke too soon, there's the Reaper. All right, so we're gonna replace the ones we had. Keep it straightforward. Double, 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 double. $22.74 up top, $2 on the numbers. There's the dice, There's the scoreboard with all the statistics. Let's get it. All right. So, as I was saying before, if you don't want to sit through missing any rolls, you can just literally go like this. You can quarter, 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 and then go up to $1 and then 50 cents on these. But we're gonna stick with the original plan for now. Once we get a hit on one of these, we're gonna reset completely. 8. It doesn't do anything for us, so once again, that can happen. Once you clear a few, you can start missing, consecutive rolls, and it gets pretty frustrating. So adjust the way you'd like if you're gonna try this. And nothing for us. So as I was saying before, if you start with 100 units, this system is pretty, pretty safe. You can run into some trouble, but if you were starting at dollar bet sizes, I would recommend $100 buy-in.